So the ethics of piracy. All of us are familiar with piracy. Nabubuhay tayo sa isang mundo na napakaraming allusions to piracy, whether that be in entertainment or in the academe. No? When we watch movies, there are advertisements from the MTRCB that accompany these movies that warn us against piracy. Even when we rent out movies or when we buy DVDs, merong mga ads na tulad ng iconic na you wouldn't steal a car or you wouldn't steal a handbag, likening piracy with stealing. No? And who could forget yung pare pulis ako moment na laging sumasama nga sa ating mga film. Meron din tayong mga alaala kung saan ang MTRCB ay on the news, no, kung saan ginugulungan nila yung mga piratang DVD o VCD na nahuhuli nila mula sa iba't ibang mga pamilihan sa Maynila o sa iba pang mga bansa. Meron din tayong mga jokes tungkol sa kultura natin, yung mga movies na una pang lumabas sa passenger bus kesa dun sa sa mga legal na pwede nating pagpanooran. O kaya may mga kopya kung saan dumadaan-daan pa yung ibang mga tao pag nakikita natin. So if we are to analyze piracy, if we really want to look at this big deal or this big issue, siguro it would be better to start with a good definition. When we talk about piracy, we have to understand that we are dealing with an action or an act that covers anything from the creation, distribution, and the consumption of pirated goods, no, or making illegal copies or unlawful copies ng mga bagay that are otherwise protected by copyright or other laws na nagpo-protect sa ownership ng lugar na yon. And while we are obviously laging sinasabi sa atin na ang piracy ay illegal or mali, pero understand that this is about ethics and philosophy. When we speak of ethics and philosophy, we are necessarily being critical of obvious things. We are always in the business of being doubtful of simple or obvious definitions. If we are to engage with our critical thinking skills and we want to exercise our academic freedom para pag-aralan ito, kailangan maging open tayo sa pagtingin dito sa piracy. A large question that we are asking right now is whether the analogy of piracy being stealing is a perfect analogy. Legally, maaari nga nating sabihin na merong ownership about these things, be it in media, like in movies, films, or TV series, or books, articles, and other things na kinoconsume natin in the academe. Pero, ang isa sa malaking tanong, kanino at saan? Are you really taking something, as it were? The thing once you produce, distribute, or consume a pirated copy of it. Sa analogy ng stealing, kinuha mo tapos wala nang access doon yung original owner nito. Pero in piracy, you are simply making a copy that you are consuming or distributing. Hindi na wala ng access doon yung mga original na may-ari nito. At best, it can be said that what you are taking might be the potential profit from the people who own distributive rights to the product. And by then, can you really steal something that isn't there yet? That is to say, are you really stealing some tangible thing from an actual entity, or are you merely blocking a specific line of possibilities? Of course, on the side of the distributors and the business owners, these generally represent the losses para sa kanilang profit. And so there is a case to be made in the entertainment industry, katulad ng sa films, TVs, and video games, na oo, merong pagkatama ng analogy ng stealing sa piracy. Pero when we look at the academe, we can speak about an argument, a line of thinking that can be said to be the argument from necessity. It's easy to argue that piracy is wrong in terms of things that we do not need or that are not considered essential to survive. However, that line becomes grayer when you go towards things that are arguably needed by some, if not all, of the population. Case in point, ano-ano ba yung mga bagay na ginagamit at kinokonsumo natin bilang mga estudyante at mag-aaral? If you are a college student who's watching this, you are probably already familiar with the different ways that piracy can happen in the academe. Sa paanong paraan? Sa mga textbooks na ginagamit mo, ilan doon ang original mong binili. Ilan dito yung galing sa mga illegal sites katulad ng LiveGen or Library Genesis or ZLive. No? Marami dito siguro nag-build na ng sariling mga industriya that revolve around these things. Sa mga articles naman, kung hindi libro, ilan dito ang ginagamit mo na downloaded legally? Or meron ba itong mga kanya-kanyang paywall na inikutan mo lang in some way? Ilan dito ang galing sa isang legendary website na tinatawag na Sci-Hub. No? That is on the level of the analysis in the student, the individual. Let's take that analysis and go further and go on the level of the faculty. Kami na mga nagtuturo, no? Kami naman ang nag-assign ng reading sa inyo, hindi ba? Kapag tumingin kayo sa iba't ibang mga photocopy centers sa paligid ng campus, kami rin naman yung nag-iiwan ng mga kopya na yon para ipa-photocopy ninyo at gamitin. O hindi kaya, kami din naman ang mga nag-i-email ng mga soft copies or PDF files ng mga books at articles na ginagamit para sa pag-aaralan natin na subject. Admittedly, yes, there's a weak defense na kaya naman tama ito because we're doing this for the purpose of pedagogy or teaching. Kaya okay lang. Medyo papasa siya sa Creative Commons o sa iba pang mga general license na pwede nating gamitin. Pero understand that in the beginning of the books and the articles na ginagamit natin, meron ding warnings about illegal reproductions, electronic or otherwise, na ginagamit natin para dito. So that's on us, on the level of the faculty. I think we can actually go even deeper in this analysis when we talk about institutions. Sa mga libro na ginagamit at sa mga articles na ginagamit natin, ilan actually ang available dito sa Pilipinas? Particular, sa mga subject katulad ng philosophy kung saan ang mga canon books natin ay hindi laging available sa mga big and popular bookstores, would we go through the effort of ordering online and wait for shipping internationally para lang maka-access tayo sa isang libro na gagamitin natin for one sem? And on a further note, no, yung mga authors ng mga articles na ginagamit natin, bihira din na sila ay actual na nagpo-profit mismo doon sa articles na ginagamit nila. For a long time, mas sa distributors or editors lang ito napupunta. We do have the concept of open access journals, whereas the author makes their article publicly available or they want to keep their articles accessible. However, this comes at a trade for the author themselves because generally, kailangan nilang bayaran yung editor ng potential profits dapat nila mula dun sa article na yun to keep their article open access. And that's, I think, a really big problem. Some living authors would actually give you a copy of their article for free, no? Even if it is distributed under something na may paywall. Contact mo lang sila, email mo sila, tell them why you need the article, and they might happily provide you with this article, even if it is protected under a paywall. In that case, are they committing piracy, even if they are the original author but they do not own the distributive rights to their own product? Para sa atin na nasa loob ng mga universidad, there's also the defense that our university has institutional access. Pero partikular ito lamang sa mga nasa loob ng mga institusyon katulad ng mga universidad. That is to say, tayo lang ba ang mga pinili para magkaroon ng access dito? When we speak of democratizing education, of making things available to the general population, we can view this as an overall net positive. Sa framework ng utilitarianism, kung saan ang hinahanap natin ay yung overall net positive, no, or yung good for the greatest number of people, hindi ba't maaaring magandang sabihin ang isang argumento na nakalinya ng pagpapaayos ng estado ng edukasyon sa bansa or pagpaparami ng mga intelektual at mga may kayang mag-isip sa Pilipinas, isa sa mga paraan kung paano natin yun pwedeng gawin ay sa pamamagitan ng, admittedly, piracy or unlawful na mga bagay-bagay. Of course, education in the Philippines is a multi-layered problem. Pero in one aspect, part of the reason is how many barriers of entry you have to get through to be educated. To those of you who are watching, have you actually visited your public libraries? Ang public libraries ba natin ay sufficient para magbigay ng information na kinakailangan ng taong bayan? A lot of our countrymen lack access to knowledge, whether this be in the form of online knowledge or book knowledge or even formal education. If access or the lack thereof to this is actively harming our overall population, wouldn't it be then the overall positive thing if we can take away some of these barriers and actually democratize access to educational concepts and materials? No? This is not the first time that this argument is being made. No? Internationally, there is a broad movement that questions the idea of copyright and intellectual property entirely. Ang isang movement katulad ng copyleft, no, isang broad na movement na nanggagaling essentially yung tanong nila sa ang property ba, ang intellectual property ba ay katulad ng ibang mga property na kayang ariin ng isang tao? Isn't it the case that information wants to be free and it wants to be distributed? And therefore, copyright is actually serving as a barrier na hindi napupuntahan ng material kung saan niya gustong pumunta actually. No? This is manifested online in a lot of file sharing channels such as the ones affiliated with Pirate Bay for the entertainment ones. Pero since we are honing in on the academic-centered points made here, magiging mas appropriate siguro ang Sci-Hub at ang founder nito na si Alexandra L. Baquian. No? They are part of a collective or a group that believes in the freedom of information and do not believe in the power of paywalls. What they would want to do is to make sure that everyone has access to the information that we need. Lumaki tayo sa isang lipunan kung saan pinaniwala tayo na mali at illegal ang pamimirata. Tama naman na illegal siya. We do have our laws that protect against piracy. However, paradoxically, lumaki din tayo sa kaparehong lipunan at sitwasyon na talamak at normal ang pamimirata. Ibig ba sabihin nito, lahat lang ng nasa paligid natin, tayo included, ay actively gumagawa ng mga maling bagay at naniniwalang hindi dapat yun mangyari? When we study ethics or when we study philosophy, we can use these things or we can use these concepts kung saan pwede nating makita yung iba't ibang mga paraan sa pagtingin sa mga bagay-bagay. Ethics is a test of our critical thinking. No? Remember that ethics is a subject that is not to be taken as an instruction manual that merely describes what is right and what is wrong. Thinking critically about this piracy-riddled world that we live in, perhaps we ought to be more careful with sweeping generalizations such as piracy is always wrong. Salamat po.